All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into a very special, I guess from parts unknown, SummerSlam edition of the BCP. Very excited to be back. I know, guys, it's been a while. It's been a crazy couple months, but we're here. We're back. We're doing our thing. It's SummerSlam, one of the biggest shows of the year. I believe the biggest party of the summer, unless you're hanging out with Wittes and you're eating that good brisket, but I digress. And guys, we're here with the All-Star Stellar panel. Very excited, guys. Please let us know in the chat who you have. Share the stream. And guys, please welcome back to the show one of my best friends in the world. You know him, our good friend, an OG here on the BCP, a writer for the popbreak.com and BCP Plus, our good friend, Mr. Matt Wittes. What's up, Big Cat? How are you, bro?
Hey, yo, let's go. Once again, the dad bod demigod graces his presence here and always representing BCP Plus. I'm sure if you're watching this on YouTube, Rob is going to have details on how you can get your very own down there in the description.
Yes, that's right. And what was the moniker again? Dad bod, what? Demigod?
Demigod.
That's a t-shirt. That's amazing. That's not going away. I love it, Matt. Thanks for making a few minutes. And guys, please welcome back to the show. Let's see, you know him from BCP Plus, a senior editor over there. He's killing it with UFL. He's covering AEW's residency over in Arlington, man. Battle of the Belts, Collision. My guy's killing it. Always love having him here. He's becoming a little bit more of a frequent guest here. An A-plus player here on the BCP. Please welcome back our good friend, Mr. Kelvin Cayley. Kelvin, welcome back. Good to see your face, bro.
Thank you for having me back. I don't have a witty quote. I'm not a dad by demigod. I wish I had something like that, but thank you guys for having me. It's a pleasure being back.
Good to see you, man. Always good to see your smiling face. You bring so much to the table, man. I'm excited for this one. SummerSlam is a big show. Guys, let us know in the chat what you're excited for SummerSlam. And please welcome back to the show. You know her from the popbreak.com. Kimmy Talks Wrestling, BCP. The list goes on and on. Kimmy, we got to keep it moving. Maria Kanellis' personal protege. I think Britt Baker's best friend. Please welcome to the show, Miss Kimmy. Kimmy, so cool. Kimmy, what up?
Listen, it's a great time. Britt Baker's back. Ring of Honor's dying. My heart is breaking. But listen, Calvin and I were having in-depth conversations about the ring. You didn't even talk about the Ring of Honor tapings at the residency. I'm a little heartbroken, Rob. You got to be fair to all the brands.
Very true.
But yeah, I'm going to Cleveland in 10 hours. WrestleCon Cleveland. We're doing something over there. And I'll be SummerSlam. Isn't that crazy?
That's awesome. Real quick, while we got you, can you tell the fans a little bit about WrestleCon real quick, how they can get tickets, who's going to be there, shameless promo real quick.
So instead of a huge thing, we're building a pop-up convention called Destination WrestleCon Cleveland. You could go to WrestleCon.com. We have Trish Stratus. We have Sting. We have Tori Wilson. We have Candice Michelle. We have the Dudleys. We have the Hardys, who, by the way, I interviewed Matt Hardy today, so you can go over to the Pop Break and check out that interview that I did at 6:30 this afternoon or night, whatever that time really looks like. And yeah, so go to WrestleCon.com. If you're looking for something to do before SmackDown and SummerSlam, do that, because I heard in Cleveland there's nothing to do there. So we're giving you something to do. You're welcome.
There's a lot of Cleveland jokes. I feel bad. Like Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I've not heard one person say anything good about Cleveland in the entire hype up of me going to Cleveland.
Well, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Except Johnny Gargano.
Hey, there you go. Yeah.
But he
Yeah.
I've only heard one person say something good about Cleveland.
Oh, boy.
He said that the Heart of Rock and Roll was there.
There you go, right? The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame played there. No big
deal. And Huey Lewis has never lied to me before or since, so I don't know.
That's right, darn it. Real quick, I don't want to get somber real quick, but got a shout-out some people involved with the show. Obviously, we lost a good brother, the guy who named this show, Mike Vagiano, your bruzin', Matt. We miss him, man. It's tough without him, but we keep doing our thing. We got a little GoFundMe going for Vac. It's in the comments for his family, his wife, and 2 kids that survived him. We love you, man. You're here with us, man. I see you every day. I carry you with me every day. I'll leave it at that. We miss you. You're a big part of this. We miss you, bro. We love you. Calvin, I want to shout you out. I know you lost your pops, man, recently, dude. I just hope you're doing well. Hopefully this brings you some fun and takes your mind off things. I know it always does for me. Just want to say we love you too, man. Shout out to you and your family, man. We'll leave it at that, bro.
Thank you, guys. Yeah. I love you all.
All the love, man. All right, guys. Now let's get to our, as I say, our stories, our soap opera, the thing that takes us away from real life sometimes, our escape, if you will. That's why we're here. We're having fun. Thank you guys for joining us. And we love the comments in the chat. Yeah, all the love to Calvin, all the love to Vac and his family. Let's do it, guys. I think we're going to start with CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre, with Seth Rollins being the special guest referee. I loved this segment on Monday. I know there were some criticisms of it. Busted Open did a great job breaking it down. But I like what Seth said. He's like, maybe there will be a count-out. Maybe there won't. Maybe DQ. No big deal. He's going to do it on his terms. And this just leads to amazing storylines. The stuff Drew has been doing has been great. Punk has always been captivating. This is going to be exciting. A lot of people said, should this be the main event in this particular situation? Kimmy, you're a Seth Rollins guy since day one-ish, and I think we'll start with you on this one. Who's going to win? Any fun fan theories, any theories? Because Seth plays a major factor in this one.
Listen, I'm upset I don't get to see him wrestle. Like, the last time I went to SummerSlam was in Nashville, and guess what? He didn't wrestle then either, and now he's not wrestling this time, so I don't know if it's me, if I'm like bad luck or something, but I feel like I'm getting screwed here. That has nothing to do with this, but I'm really upset about it. Anyway, so I feel like there's a lot of other matches that have had way more intense build that should be the main event. I mean, hell, we have Liv and Rhea breaking social media numbers weekly. So I feel like that should also be a contender for the main event. I think Seth is going to get involved. He hates both of them. We obviously know at one point it's going to be Punk and Seth. That was supposed to be the WrestleMania match. We'll get Seth and Drew. Hooray. This should be good, but I think that Drew gets it because I don't think this is the last time we see these two wrestle. I think it's going to be a best out of 3, and usually the heel wins the first match, so Drew's going to win.
Drew's going to win. Okay. I might go the other way, Kimmy, but I want to hear Calvin too, because there's so many fun ways we could go with this. Calvin, you always bring such a unique perspective to this, man. I'm going to hang on your every word. What do you got?
This is almost a copy and paste from Kimmy. I kind of agree with that. Being that this pay-per-view itself, there is a lot of hidden in this pay-per-view. Like, there's so many possibilities for other things to happen that this one is so straightforward. I don't think this deserves to be the main event. It's almost like we know where they're going with it. So there's a lot of other things on this card, particularly the Rhea and Liv angle. There's stuff that comes out of that could have easily been the main event. This is SummerSlam, and Cody and Solo are the main event. That's just a given with, oh yeah, by the way, Roman's been gone a while. So it's SummerSlam, it's a big 4. Good chance that we may have him pop up. This is straightforward. Give me them early to where there's enough to where you can work out of it. You can get the feelings out of the way. We can get to the bigger fish on this card. Match itself, I'm going to go with Kimmy. I'm going to put Drew over. This puts Drew in another title match, potentially, at Berlin. Maybe not Berlin, but he's in the title picture after this. Seth, Punk. I think Seth cost Punk the match, and there's your feud with those two right there moving forward.
Good stuff, Kelvin. I still might go the other way, but good stuff. And Bubba John in the chat saying WWE Championship should be the main event. Sure, I could agree with that, but there's so many great storylines. Great problem to have. Let's throw it to the anti-smart. Matt, what do you got on this one?
Yeah, going along with this, could this have been a main event? Best case scenario, possibly, but I think that's very, very slim that they would be able to make this that best case scenario. I'm just calling it out right now. CM Punk at one point, incredible. Drew is incredible. Right now, CM Punk is 45 years old, beat the hell out of his body for a lot of years, doesn't do performance enhancers. So this could be a show stealing match, but it could also be a disaster, which is why I would never put it as the main event. Just from a practical standpoint there. I am going very similar to the rest of the panel here. Seth's there. Seth is there for shenanigans. Okay? He's Heath Ledger Joker in after raiding Elton John's closet. Okay, it was nice of him to go back to 1985 and take that shirt away from Joan Collins. Yeah, this is going to be not the end of this. This is the start. This is something they wanted to start doing months ago that they're only getting to be able to kick in now. They can drag this out to WrestleMania, to the Rumble. So I think that's how they go with it. It's a one-on-one match, but it's a three-way story.
Yeah, really well said, man. I'm gonna go the other way. I'm gonna go Punk. He's been back for a while now, since Survivor Series, but he hasn't had that many matches, especially singles matches. I feel like he has to win just to kind of keep him strong. Drew losing has been gold this whole time. It gives him more stuff to complain about. It's kind of like Chelsea Green, in a different sense, She can complain about it. And the stuff Drew has been doing has been absolutely brilliant. I may be more invested in this match than a lot of the others because I'm just very interested to see how this plays out. I'm notoriously not a Punk guy, but he's always been very, very captivating. Everything he's done has been so interesting. The stuff Drew has been doing has been gold. I think this might be my aside of the outfits, and I'm not a fashion guy. Just a lot of times the outfits, I'm just like, I don't know, bro. I have zero fashion sense, so I know what I'm talking about. But I think this is my favorite Seth. I love his interactions with Punk, and there's two guys. My favorite promo is Seth going up to Punk, and he just goes, "I hate you," and then Drew did the same thing on Monday. He goes, "I hate you," like. I think some of this dates back to some history in the past, ROH, things of that nature. And when you blur those lines, and it looks like CM Punk's living his best life right now. It looks like he's doing right by a lot of people. He's helping a lot of the younger talent. I'm sure some of these guys have buried the hatchet, but you just don't know. Drew's tweeting some stuff and deleting some stuff. It's really fun and intriguing. But I'm just going to say that CM Punk, he doesn't need the win, but he needs matches. And therefore, I feel like he needs to win a match just to remind everybody who the heck he is. I can't believe I'm defending him right now. But
well, tell him not to be injury prone, and then maybe he would have gone some matches. Tell him not to be old. Maybe he wouldn't have gotten hurt. This is his fault.
Kimmy, look, you're very young still. Getting old.
He's not any older than AJ Styles.
Yeah. We can't all be AJ
But
Styles.
he could stay healthy, but Punk can't.
Hey, Bill Bodkin.
I don't understand.
Wow. And Punk. Bill coming in. Go ahead, Matt. I'm sorry.
No, I'm going to... It would only be speculation on my part, and I shall not...
That's right. You wear that BCP Plus shirt proud. We don't stir the pot and speculate. That's right. We're respected journalists.
Can I throw a question out there?
Of course, bro.
Now, we've seen Punk screw Drew McIntyre on a number of occasions. Okay. Who's to say Seth Rollins isn't taking notes? And this is his perfect opportunity to screw CM Punk. It's on the big stage.
Exactly. That's why Drew's going to win.
Fair point.
Come on, Rob.
Well, you know what? I'll like I always like to run the scenarios, right? I'm going to start all over, right? Erase everything I just said. That's still my pick. You can't change your pick. But if I'm Seth Rollins, I could do whatever I want here. What is the best outcome for me, Seth Rollins? Is it to screw over Drew McIntyre, or is it to screw over CM Punk? Who does he hate more? I think that's what it comes down to. That's a great question.
Oh, it's Punk. It's Punk.
It's Punk? All right.
Oh, yeah.
Then case for Drew. Real quick in the chat, Bill Bodkin. Bill, welcome in. Editor-in-chief of thepopbreak.com. Go check out thepopbreak.com real quick. Bill's another good brother, OG here. CM Punk is the wrestling equivalent of a nostalgia act at Coachella. Dang. Bill, not mincing words here. Let's go to our next match. Dang, Bill. Let's talk about, Matt, your guy, not Logan Paul, LA Knight versus Logan Paul for that United States Championship. We've been saying it for the better part of a year now, Matt. Logan Paul's been keeping this title warm for your guy, LA Knight, Eli Drake. You've been singing his praises before he was in WWE. Matt, you know this is going to you first. Does your boy finally capture gold in World Wrestling Entertainment?
One-word answer. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do it.
No,
Love it.
if anything would be questionable on this one, I mean, just the fact that it's Logan Paul, it's in Cleveland, and everything else, but they've kind of gone as far as they can with him holding onto that belt. They've developed WWE has developed this tradition now of like, yeah, you lose at home. Miko Satomura lost to Liv Morgan in Japan this past week, I believe. Is her go home thing. Yeah, I see it's happening because I think just having them come in, and I hate to say it, but any one title in the company, because you have two of everything, can be kind of put on the shelf and broken out when you need it. But they need to mix it up a little bit. And this is one that seems like it's been a long time coming. So I'm hopeful, but I don't think it makes any sense not to put it on LA Knight.
Well, one-word answer from me, like you said, Matt. Yeah. I mean, simple as that. I've been saying it better part of a year now. This is time, and he deserves to have that gold around his waist. Kelvin, what do you think about this one, bro?
Yeah, that's the pick.
Yes.
That's the pick. He's. I feel like LA Knight was due a title about 6 months ago. I think we're 6 months past due on the LA Knight title run. Now, that being said, him getting this title in Cleveland will be a big deal. And I feel like The Rock coming back kind of hurt him a little bit. And he's bowed his time. He's put his work in. He's got the crowd back. Perfect opportunity to give him the strap. LA Knight for the win.
Very well said. And real quick, shout out to my friend Darren Fisher. His band These Wolves and Monteezy did a remix of LA Knight's theme. Just came out. Check it out. I think it's on Spotify and YouTube right now. Very, very good. Monteezy does a great job with the rapping. My buddy Darren does a great job with the chorus. It's really, really fun. So check it out. Matt, I should have sent it to you. But it's very cool. Nice. Guys, go check that out. Kimmy, are we going another direction here? I mean, this is a slam dunk, right?
I agree. I know a lot of people were very critical over the fact that Logan's held this title for over 200 days and he only has 2 title defenses. So a lot of people were like, why put the title on him if he was only going to defend it twice? I went on this show and I said, they don't care about that anymore. They care about the publicity. And that's what Logan Paul brought. Publicity and more viewers. And
sponsorship.
And sponsorship. Prime. It's everywhere.
Prime all over the place.
We can't escape it, sadly. He'll bring more viewers in his hometown. I know he said that Mr. Cleveland's gonna like be in his corner or something stupid like that. I don't know who it's gonna be.
Bernie Kosar.
Listen, it could be Machine Gun Kelly as well. So I don't know what they're gonna do with that. But yeah, LA Knight has to win. He should have won this title last year. If he doesn't win, I don't know what they're doing with him.
I thought you said Mr. Clean for a minute, and I'm like, that's awesome. And I'll shout out my boy Joe Clean, who is a Mr. Clean wrestler, and it's awesome. So everyone follow Joe Clean on the Independents. The kids love him. He gives out brooms. He gives out brooms to the kids. So, you know, it's a positive message. Let's go to the Intercontinental Championship match. Sami Zayn once again against Braun Breaker. I thought Sami, even though he beat Gunther, and I know we're going to talk about that, but I thought Sami Zayn was going to lose to Braun Breaker just because of the way they've been pushing Breaker. He's been amazing in the ring. He gets better and better. That Frankensteiner, what did he call it? Breakerstein, whatever McAfee called it. It's insane. The guy's killing. The spears are insane. I think, you know, Ricochet has been gone ever since, he's been speared by, I wonder why, by Braun. You know, it's crazy. The fact that they're running this back, I'm just going to say right now, makes me think that Sammy's going to lose it here. I don't think it makes Sami look weak. He already beat him before. Sammy had a great promo saying after that match, like, everyone did think I was going to win, but I am a fighting champion. I meant what I said, and it was a great promo by Sammy. Everything Sammy's been doing is gold. I want to see more storytelling with Sammy again because he's the genius behind a lot of what's going on right now. He's a big part of it, and I feel like he gets overlooked. MVP of, 2022, 2023, whatever it was. But that being said, I think Braun's just going to get it here only for the fact that they're running it back. Let's go, Kelvin. What do you think?
I'm gonna agree with you here. I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna flop. I'm gonna say Sami Zayn gets this done, and the reason I'm gonna say that is because normally when the WWE tries to build a guy up, it's usually in threes. If you look at Cody, for instance, when he debuted back at WrestleMania 38, him and Seth went 3 rounds, right? Built him up nice, good, let's roll. They normally do this with guys they invest a lot in, and I feel like they invested a lot in Braun Breaker. He's one of those guys. So I do think the story is good enough between these two to where they're telling a nice enough story that Braun can lose this match and come out on the other side of it even bigger and work his way back. There's still lessons that he needs to learn, and I think Sami Zayn is the guy that's bringing that out of him. Give me a Braun Breaker loss, but I know that this match will be good enough and compelling enough that I will be invested in it, and I will want to see it again, and eventually Braun will beat him, just not at SummerSlam.
You're right. He's right. I can't change my pick because it's against the rules, but you're right. It's the rule of 3. It's the rule of 3. Matt, what do you got on this one?
You know what? Don't worry about changing yours because I'm going to stay with it there. I think this one goes to Braun because to run it back this quickly from the last time, I think this is going to trade off, and I think this Ilya Dragunov is sitting out there on the sideline waiting to pop his head in each time. One of the biggest things with the Intercontinental title has been there have been amazing champions throughout the year, but it's the feuds over that title and guys going back and forth with it. Rock and Austin, Brett and Shawn, Brett and Perfect, Tito Santana and Greg Valentine changing that title back and forth, Pedro Morales and Pat Patterson. It's always trading off. It's tit for tat going back and forth with it. And I think they're ready to do that because they're like, we don't need to wait to pull the trigger on this kid. He's amazing already. Let's give him a really good program with a guy who's a bona fide golden touch. And let's see where it goes from here. Let's see how quickly he gets to the moon. It starts with Braun Breaker winning at SummerSlam.
I think you're right. Bubba John in the chat real quick. Dragunov versus Breaker was great. Yeah, for sure. Really, really intense, for sure. Kimmy, are you going another direction here? And guys in the chat, let us know who you got on this one because I think it could go either way. Kimmy, what do you got?
Sami Zayn should have lost his title to Chad Gable. Like, this
Fair.
reign, no. Like,
Fair.
He needed to lose that title months ago. He has to lose it now. There is no reason why he needs the title. He could still be in the mid-card scene. Doesn't need to be champion. There needs to be... I understand, like, how could you go from a 666-day reign to, like, someone who holds it for 2 months? But, like, no. You can't have these people who are due for a championship keep on losing. That's how they lose steam, and then you don't have any idea what to do with them, and then they get fired. And then we're like, wow, why did that happen? Come on, Triple H. But yeah, this is a must-win for Braun Breaker. Must win.
Must win for Braun Breaker. Very interesting. Kimmy, I'll throw it to you. Do you want to go? Actually, what match do you want to go to? Because I feel like I'm going to jump ahead here. I'm going to hot shot it.
Bayley and Nia.
That's a good choice. That's a good pick. Kimmy, Bayley, Nia. Does Nia get this here? What do you got, Kimmy?
Yeah, but
Yeah?
then her princess of the ring is going to stab her in the back and cash in that money in the bank and take the title from Nia. And Tiffany Stratton will be walking out, the new WWE Women's Champion.
I've ran that thought process. I don't know if I'm going to go that way. Guys, helping me out in the chat. Let's go to Kelvin. Do you agree with Kimmy?
This is a tough one. This is a tough.
It's tough.
Because I want to agree with you, Kimmy. I do want to agree with you. Tiffy time, just waiting in the background, that's what's getting me. The match itself, I do want to say Nia picks up the win in this match, and then she gets stabbed in the back. That is just perfect. It's there. The story is there. So, yeah, I got to go that way. I have to go that way.
Wow. You're just going right for it. I was talking about hot shotting before, and you know what? I could see it happening. I'm not saying you guys are wrong. I really could see it happening. Matt, voice of reason here, man. Let's pump the brakes a little bit. Are we hot shotting this thing to Tiffany? Is it Tiffy time?
If it is Tiffy time, I think she takes it off of a broken, beaten, bleeding, but victorious Bayley. I think she has Nia do her dirty work, soften her up, and this way there's no dead cat bounce for the audience of, she turns on Nia. No, nobody cares if she turns on Nia. If she takes off of Bayley, then she's going to get hated. Then she's got the heat.
Good
I see Bayley winning, which, Nia deserves to get beat after disrespecting the tribal cheeks all these weeks. And, yeah, you heard me right. And now, and it very well could be Tiffy time at that time. She punches the clock.
Bubba John agrees with you in the chat. Oh, man, you got me. I think I really want to see Nia win the championship, selfishly. She's been a women's champion in the past. Oh, man. So here's a weird question. Is Tiffy accompanying Nia to the ring in this?
No.
She wasn't. Is she on the graphic?
No.
Okay.
No, she's not.
Oh, she's not.
So would Nia beat Bayley clean is the question.
Yes.
You think Nia?
Yes.
All right, this is where I'm going to go. I think we're going to have Nia win the championship. Shameless promo, check out our interview with Nia Jax over at bcp-plus.com. Love talking to her. I'm going to say Nia's going to win the championship clean or with some funny business without Tiff. And I think Tiffy's going to make herself known in some way, but I don't think she's going to cash in. I think this is going to be they're working together. One's the champion, one has the briefcase, and they're just alongside each other every episode of SmackDown, and it's the awkward tension that builds. We're in this era of long-term storytelling, so I'm going to go that way. So I'll go Nia Jax to win, Tiffy not cashing in, but that's going to lead to a series of events of awkward, situations, and that should be very interesting. Also, maybe we'll see the new Money in the Bank purse, briefcase, whatever it's going to be. We haven't seen that yet, right? So that we need to let that play out as well. Gina in the chat saying I'm going with Bayley wins, and then it's Tiffy time. Tiffany Stratton wins. Bubba in the chat, Nia is one of the nicest persons. Yeah, for sure. Bubba, they take it off Bayley, especially if Bayley just fought her butt off. Okay, yeah. So we'll see what happens. A lot of Nia in the chat.
I think they owe Nia because I know they've been very impressed with her. I know they loved the match against Rhea at Perth. So I think they owe her a title, which is why I think she's going to win, and just hold it for about 5 minutes. And pull a Drew McIntyre.
Nice. I love that you said that, Kimmy, because I think she's been really great since she's come back. I think it's been a good fit. I think they've been using her perfectly. Like having her win the Queen of the Ring, just being this big bad for everybody, presence, in the Rumble and whatnot. I think she's been used perfectly to the point where, you know what? Take all the factors out of this. She just deserves it. She just deserves it. Plain and simple. Not to say Bayley doesn't, but I think she deserves it, and there's some stories we could tell with this. So very well said, Kimmy. I agree with that, and I'm glad that you said that. I'm going to hot shot it to the World Heavyweight Championship match because we talked about Sammy. We talked about Gunther a little bit. A little late to the party, but they started to add some fuel to this fire. We knew that Gunther was going to have the opportunity. I'm very curious where you guys are going with this one. Does Damian Priest retain, or do we have a new World Heavyweight Champion? Matt, what do you think?
This is kind of a tough one, which immediately seems like it's a no-brainer. The whole reason they took the belt off of Gunther was so he could go for this one. But Priest has been holding it down pretty good. He's been doing his job. There's all sorts of other stuff because, he's still got one foot in the Judgment Day. And I think I'm going to put all my eggs in one basket for this and another match down the line. I think this goes to Gunther. And I think we're going to see Judgment Day just implode at SummerSlam. I think this is going to be the thing. I think this is going to be somebody trying to help and botching things and turn it wrong, and it's going to be all over. And the reign of the General begins.
It's going to be Judgment Day for the Judgment Day. I see what you did there. See what you did there. Very interesting. I see a lot of nodding when you were speaking. All right. I feel some nods coming from the chat as well. Kimmy, I believe I saw you nodding. I take it you agree with Mr. Wittes.
Gunther is their ticket to selling out Bash at Berlin. Their guy needs to walk in as champ. They need to make money off that show. That is the only reason they're doing that show, is because he will walk in champion. And there is way more money in this Judgment Day feud exploding than Damian Priest walking into Bash in Berlin as champion. So Gunther's going to win. This is the easiest match to call on this pay-per-view.
I think very well said. I agree with that. I will throw a counterpoint, and this is just me playing devil's advocate. I do agree with what you said, Kimmy. Would there be more money or just my thought process of Gunther, once again, being the challenger at Berlin as opposed to walking in the champion? Like,
no.
So the fans would see him. I want to see Johnny win the championship. I want to see Ray win the championship. I want to see Gunther. It would make more sense for him to be the champion.
No, because you can make more money of this is Gunther's first title defense.
Most titles, so you'd go that way. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. If he was my guy, I would want to see him win the title. But you bring up I'm just playing devil's advocate. I think your point is very fair and very good. Kelvin, what do you got on this one?
Gunther walking into Bash in Berlin as the champion against Damian Priest in a rematch. Take my money left over from the subscription. I'm there. I'll pay twice. So it's money. So I do think I knew it the instant Gunther won King of the Ring. That's where they were going with this, and I do think his coronation is on Saturday. So give me Gunther for the win. This is a lock for me. I'm locking it.
Lock of the night.
Yep.
Lock of the night. Lock it up. All right, Kelvin's lock of the night. It's a strong pick. Let's do 4 all the way around. I got to go Gunther too. Echoing what everyone pretty much said. He's going to be that guy too once he wins. I mean, he's been unstoppable, aside from Sami Zayn. I'm looking at the comments. A lot of Gunther's in the comments. He's been nearly unstoppable. He deserves it. And also, I thought he was going to be one of Cody's first challengers before, all the drafts and all that stuff going on. He's such a big bad. Final boss, not The Rock, but final boss vibes. He's going to have a long, dominant run. He's going to give a lot of underdogs some chances. They're going to have some good matches. It just makes all the sense in the world. Like Kimmy said, going to Berlin. You got to put it on Gunther. You got to. And Matt, you bring up a great point about the Judgment Day, their role in all of this. And I think Damian Priest, we almost kind of overlooked him in this, but I think he's done a solid job. I think he's done a perfectly solid job with this. Pretty good speaker. getting better in ring week by week. I love the skits with the Judgment Day. Monster Factory guy, got to shout them out. He's done a really good job, a really solid job. And I think this is, like Kelvin said, this is the time. This Saturday, this is the time. Guys, let us know in the chat if you're going another direction. Gina, I know Damien's your guy. She's loved Damian Priest before he cashed in. He's got the world title. I'm not trying to ruin your night, Gina. I just think this might be the night where Priest finally loses it, but we'll see what happens because I think there's going to be some fallout with the Judgment Day, which means we probably just have to get into it. The custody of Dominic Mysterio. Oh, wait, they're not doing that. We have Liv Morgan versus, that was years ago, Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship. Liv being the champion. Let's be real, a lot of people saying the most captivating thing they've seen on Raw in a while. People have been loving it. Gina, I'm so sorry. You never know. Maybe Damien will win it. This has been interesting. Does Mommy come back and win this thing right away, Kelvin, or does this play out more? Does this have stuff to do with the Judgment Day? Kelvin, help me out here.
Okay. If you go back to Latino Heat in China, this is that. And I think this ends in a similar way. I don't think Rhea is going to win this match. I got Liv winning. And I also think that Dominic's going to turn. And this, depending on where this is, it's either going to be the beginning of the end of the Judgment Day or this is the straw that breaks the back. Because I do think Judgment Day this is it for them on SummerSlam. There's two bad outcomes for them that they're going to have to work their way from. And this is one of them. Dom's going, because they've set this up nicely. What I didn't like that they did on Raw was Liv's speech. It kind of drew away from the story. But if this is a decoy and Dom changes his mind, then it's a perfect setup for a betrayal. So I do think we're gonna see a betrayal. I do think Dom's gonna turn on Rhea and Rhea's gonna lose this match.
Yeah, I think I'm going to agree with you, Calvin. I'm going to agree with you and everything you said. I think there's a Dom factor. There's some other factors. I'm actually going to, Kimmy, I'm going to let you and Matt go first because if you guys have it, I don't want to kind of just like ruin it. So, Kimmy, I'll throw it to you first, but I agree with pretty much everything Calvin said for the most part. Kimmy, what do you got?
There's a reason why on Monday when Liv destroyed the clubhouse that Finn's face wasn't crossed out. Finn's was the only face on the poster not crossed out, not called a liar. He wasn't touched. I wonder why. That's so crazy that he's the only one not touched. Because he and Dom are gonna turn, and he is going to help Liv retain her title, and Rhea is gonna go on this really long chase to do the full circle to get everything back that Liv took from her. Like Liv said from day one, I'm going to take everything from you, and she did. And now Rhea's got to fight to get it back, and that starts with her title. It's not going to happen now. It will probably happen at WrestleMania 41.
You got me thinking, Kimmy. You're kind of going where I was going. You got me thinking. I'm starting to change things in my head a little bit. You got me thinking. Good stuff. Matt, what do you got to add to this equation?
Two things, and maybe I'm wrong here, but I seem to remember this, the room key getting thrown down on the table on Raw a few weeks ago, and then
ding, ding, ding.
Somebody made his name rhymes with, Jin Fowler, who just reached over and just swiped, went very nonchalantly, just pulled that off, threw it in his pocket during that whole exchange. But yeah, when the Judgment Day started and all the way through, they're a heel group. They're the number, if not for the bloodline, they'd be the biggest one going in the company. But in this villainous faction, Rhea became one of the most popular people in the entire company. To the point that people were cheering her and they were booing the hell out of Dom. Because Dom's with her and we're not. Big part of it. And how does he keep his heat? How does this work with she's so over and he's so hated? And Liv, when she sent her packing and was taking credit for the injury, she was getting booed. Everybody loved Liv for years, but she sent Rhea packing. No, the crowd turned on her, and she ate it up. She's making it weird for the rest of the Judgment Day. And how do we keep hating Dom while cheering Rhea? We split him up, and he's the one kicking her to the side. And that's why I do see Liv keeping it together, Liv's staying champion. This is just getting started.
You threw a wrinkle into what I was saying, man, but you're right. Because what I was going to say, it doesn't factor for the wrinkle of keeping the heat on Dom. You have to keep him a heel. You have to. That's his bread and butter. Like, you have to. We've done the good guy Dom and all that stuff, man. And Mysterio's my guy. I love seeing them wrestle together, man. It made me very happy. But, you know, he picks up the mic, ultimate heat. Like, you can't take that away. And, Matt, you bring up such a great point. My big curveball was what you said, Matt, was the room key. Finn took it, which lead me, and if I'm just making things make sense, I'm not saying this is my pick, but if I'm making things make sense, Finn has taken the room key. I'm assuming he has used that in storyline, has used that room key. You know, I remember people saying they were rolling together to events and stuff like that, and I'm not going to pay too much attention to that. But if they're leaning into something like that storyline-wise, then it would make all the sense in the world. And please correct me if I'm wrong. A lot of moving parts here that Liv and Finn would somehow be in cahoots, leaving Dom actually loyal to Rhea. Meant everything he said. Then you kind of have the options for the mixed tags. You have, because to me, Finn Balor is the big, I don't want to say misdirect because it was obvious with the card, but we kind of like forgot about it. But Kimmy, you brought up the point with the locker. Like, Finn, I feel like Finn is we're all like looking at Dom like, oh, what's he going to do? What's he going to do? I feel like it's Finn. Kimmy, you said the thing with the locker, the room key, it's all been kind of spread out. He's going to play a factor. I think, I'm going to say Finn, in some form or fashion, is aligned with Liv. Whatever that means. Is there a storyline relationship like Rhea and Dom? Who I don't know. We're going to find out. I see this being like that Jericho, Christian, Trish Stratus kind of moment where you're just like, what? Like the love triangle romance thing. Someone was in cahoots with someone else, but it doesn't make sense because you need to keep Dom heel. So it would be obvious. I'm going to say Liv wins this match. That's all I know. I'm going to say Liv wins this match. You should have Rhea come back and just knock it out of the park and show her dominance, but we're going to tell stories. It's about stories here. We've learned that. Liv is going to win. I'm very stressed out about this, but that's what makes it fun. It's the soap opera, man. That's what makes it fun. So I'm going to just say Liv wins. Something's up with Finn Balor. Watch him. Don't watch Dom. Watch Finn Balor. Watch Finn Balor. That's all I'm going to say. Sorry, I got a little worked up on that one. Kimmy, where are we going as I'm looking through the match card here? What do you think, Kimmy?
There's only
We
one
got
match
one
left.
left.
Is that it? Usually I get yelled at. Is that it? Am I
No,
right?
there's only 7 matches. This is the shortest SummerSlam card in like the history of SummerSlam.
Yeah, and that's very on point for what we've been doing here. And
That's why they're going to 2 nights next year.
Yeah, well, that's true. So 2 things. I'm going to ask you guys, if I remember before we get out of here, to make a bold prediction, because I have one or two. You certainly don't have to, but maybe a return, yada, yada. Doesn't necessarily have to be bold, but I'll ask you guys to think of a bold prediction. And if you don't want to, you don't have to. Just something I was thinking of. Could be fun. And then I really would have liked to see the tag team titles defended, because obviously Johnny and Ciampa, we'll see if something happens on SmackDown, maybe a pre-show, something like that. He's got to wrestle.
Well, they have a 3-hour pre-show competing with Collision, because #petty.
I mean, it's business. I get it. Like,
#petty. They're only doing it for 3
right.
hours to go against
we
Collision.
don't wave flags here, but I will say, but in terms of just Johnny, just in terms of just love wrestling. It's flavors of ice cream, just like wrestling. I think Johnny should be on the. I mean, again, very biased, as I'm saying. We don't wave flags here. Very, very biased. I think Johnny should be wrestling on the Cleveland show. His father's restaurant just burned down, I think, over there. which is terrible,
Ooh.
terrible. Yeah, a lot of people want to visit. Gargano's going to Cleveland over there, so that really stinks. So I'm hoping he gets to defend the title. He's been doing media for this thing for such a long time, too. So just throwing that out there. I digress. Let's talk about the main event. Solo Sikoa getting the tap on the shoulder to compete against Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, for the WWE Championship. This might be my lock of the night. I don't think there's any way that Solo Sikoa, despite what happens, who pops up, who doesn't, whatever, there's no way Cody loses to Solo Sikoa here. There's no way. And he's done a great job with what he's had. I liked Solo being more the strong silent type. He's perfect. His facials are incredible. Even still, when he's a little bit more chatty. It was a little bit of a quick jump for me to him taking this role, but it's a great story. And he really has knocked it out of the park. But he's had a lot of L's. It makes sense for him to be in this position just due to the story, but there's no way. Cody ain't losing here, but some other stuff might happen. Yeah, Dallas in the chat saying Cody Rhodes with 3 exclamation points. That's right. Gina in the chat saying Alexa Bliss or Carmella will return. Yeah, there might be some returns for the women as well. I think that's a great point, Gina. Thank you for bringing that up. So, guys, if you have bold predictions as well, I'm all over the place here. Cody Rhodes retains. Kimmy, give us some semblance of reason here. What do you got?
Cody, win. Roman, no comeback.
No?
No. Too early. Are we really going to start building to War Games right now? Do we need to? He can return at Bad Blood.
Okay.
We don't need to build to this right now. We have time. Come on, people. So no Roman. I don't really have a bold. Oh, here. The Miz is hosting.
Yes.
Something's going to happen during that. That's my bold thing. Someone will return there.
I like that. I
don't know who.
That's a good prediction.
Somebody.
That's good, Kimmy. That's very good. So no, you're saying no Roman here.
No Roman Reigns.
Because this is probably going to be the main, so that's the only reason I think
Correct.
Maybe Roman.
Everyone could cry about it. That Roman Reigns will not be in Cleveland, Ohio.
Gina in the chat, Roman shows up. Dallas, Roman Reigns will help Cody. Fascinating. I don't hate that. Dan Lehman in the chat, one of the best music guys on the Independents, does a great job with everyone's music, which is a very hard job. I've done it once or twice, so shout out to Dan. We appreciate you. Cody wins. It sets up the story to start working towards Bloodline versus Bloodline. I'm going to call it Bloodline Civil War at Survivor Series. Kelvin, what do you got?
Well, I'm going to make a bold prediction. This one's pretty bold. I'm an ambitious person. There's a certain guy that has a history with Cleveland, and he's done concerts in Cleveland. He's told them that they suck. He's told them that they rock at times. And I think he comes back and he reveals himself as the leader of this new bloodline. I'm talking about Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, returning at SummerSlam. Also, prior to him returning at SummerSlam, we get a Roman Reigns return at SummerSlam.
Wow.
Because he comes out. Solo's been saying he's the tribal chief. Well, the tribal chief shows up. What happens then? Beat down. Now the real tribal chief shows up. And I think that's how we go off the air. There's so much hidden in this SummerSlam. On paper, it's like, something's going to happen. So here's your something. We're going to end on a big note. Yes, we have Bad Blood coming. We could set up something at Bad Blood with Roman and Solo that will lead us into the Bloodline Civil War at Survivor Series. Bloodline versus Bloodline. Give me that for $1,000.
Yes, I love it. Guys in the chat, wow, Solo sucks in the chat. Kelvin with 3 mind-blown emojis in the chat, man. Yeah, Kelvin, so doubling down. So we're getting The Rock and Roman. I love it. Oh man, and Tom, Total with Tom in the chat. If you guys listen to Bustin' Open, Kelvin, you'll appreciate this. Tom saying, "I am enjoying a QPC right now." Little shameless promo at that McDonald's sponsorship over at Busted Open. I popped for that, Tom. That was great. Enjoy your QPC quarter pounder with cheese, brother. I love it. Oh, that was awesome, guys in the chat. Give us your bold predictions, or just let us know if you think Roman or The Rock are coming back. Matt, what do you got for us?
Yeah, it's not the prediction of the match. It's the prediction of what goes along with it. I'm looking down my shoes right now. I see laces and not Velcro, so I'm picking Cody to win. I don't see anybody else going the other way unless they got around the clock here. Yeah, with this, the question is, what's going along with it? What's the added bonus? What goes into this value meal here? And it seems kind of soon, but if Roman doesn't show up, his music does. Some ghost of Roman is showing up at some point during this whole thing, because I mean, it's not like for the amount of time he's been doing this, Solo's doing all right. Jacob Fatu, the Guerrillas of Destiny in there, they're doing what they're supposed to do. It's just kind of, we know what the bloodline is. This is something else. You can't just change out everything. It's like you're not Jefferson Airplane anymore. You got to start calling yourself Starship. All right?
Nice.
Because nobody's still there. And that's the whole point of this. The point, I mean, I feel bad. Cody's kind of going to get lost in this because he's the champ, but he's not the focus of what's going on SummerSlam. And if they want to make SummerSlam as big a show as they've been trying for years, hottest party of the summer, pal, the season finale, so big we got to make it 2 nights from now on. This is probably going to get him in that direction.
Great point, man. And I think Mueller had said this in the past on the show, SummerSlam is kind of like the season finale, the cliffhanger.
Well, they were hyping that in all their stuff for years. This is season finale. It was a talking point for about a couple years there.
Yeah, really, really great point. Dan Lehman in the chat. Maybe a Jimmy Uso return as well. The bloodline builds backwards and Roman returns later, closer to Survivor Series. That's not a bad point. I'm using everything you guys are saying. You guys notice I'm just kind of stealing all your homework collectively and then just handing in my project here at the end. I think based on what all you guys said, Cody definitely wins here. But if, again, just thinking in terms of character and motivation and psychoanalyzing like I like to do, Solo's going to go in with the game plan. The game plan is going to be Guerrillas of Destiny. We're going to have some interference. What about Paul Heyman? Not to say he's going to get physically involved, but he's a smart man. He's got some tricks up his sleeves. I'm just going to take everything you guys said. I'm going to add Paul Heyman into the mix. Cody's literally on the ropes, right? Numbers game, refs knocked out. There's your drama, right? Oh, they're doing the WrestleMania 39 thing, and this was Solo's plan. This is how he wins the championship. Finding the shortcuts. Cody's by himself. Cody doesn't have all the Undertakers popping out and Cena coming back. That doesn't happen this time. Maybe it's almost like a callback to that, but it's not happening. And instead, I mean, it's got to be Roman. Roman comes out, maybe with Jimmy and Paul Heyman, which would make sense because Roman didn't kick Jimmy out. It wasn't Roman. He wasn't there. He didn't kick Jimmy out. So you get those guys coming in. Jay is not on the card. That's a whole nother conversation. He's doing great things as a singles competitor, selling a lot of those foam hands. So that's interesting. Dallas saying Cody will become a Heyman guy. That would be interesting. That's an interesting theory.
That one caught my attention.
Yeah, that caught your attention. Yeah, and Dallas, thanks for watching. I don't know if you subscribe to us on YouTube. over at Bob Culture Podcast, man, and we love hearing your comments. And welcome, man. This is some good stuff. We appreciate it. So I'm gonna go with everything you guys said. Cody wins. Return. I'm gonna go Heyman, Jimmy, thanks to Dan, and Roman come back, provide interference. No. You're not doing this. You're not winning the WWE Championship here. We got family business to take care of. And there's your ending. There's your cliffhanger, as Matt said. Big moment. Big moments. We're a moments company. I love it so much. My bold prediction, and maybe this will be during The Miz, has nothing to do with this. I think Joe Hendry makes an appearance in Cleveland in some form or fashion. I'm going to say at SummerSlam. They have been so red hot, and he's money on Joe Hendry, but like more than that. I'm going to say Joe Hendry shows up at SummerSlam in some form or fashion. That is my bold prediction. Jimmy and Gina in the chat saying Jimmy and Jay will reunite. That would be what a moment. What a fun moment that would be for sure. Should be interesting, guys. Of course, check out the PLE Saturday night SummerSlam. We'll be covering it here on BCP Plus. Very excited for all of that. But before we get out of here, we're all about that shameless promo. Matt, we'll throw it to you first. Popbreak.com, BCP Plus. Matt, that shirt looks good on you, too. I'm not going to lie, guys. Order yours now.
They always look fantastic. Yeah, as Rob said, you can see me on BCP Plus, on the popbreak.com. Occasionally get working on the Twitter X machine there at the Anti-Smart with 2 A's. And just going to use this time for a quick shout-out. Today, happy retirement to one of my mentors, Lieutenant Sid Mooney. Fantastic guy. Guy's been looking after me since I was about 13 years old when he was volunteer coaching, and a guy who dedicated his whole life to always being a part of something bigger than himself. United States Army, Omega Psi Phi fraternity, Long Branch and Neptune school district coaching, and you just finished 29 years with the Long Branch Police Department. So, Coach, we love you. Enjoy this.
Love it, man. Thank you for your service, man. That's amazing to hear, Lieutenant. Yeah, round of applause. That's awesome, man. Keeping the streets safe, as we say over in Old Long Branch, man. We really appreciate all you guys and what you do, and hope you all stay safe. Kimmy, I know you got a lot going on. What do you got for us?
Ring of Honor is sadly dying. Tony Khan trying to break my heart over here, but while it's still
Shane will
alive,
fix it.
No, he won't. That contract does not say Shane McMahon.
How do we
on
not
it.
talk about that? Yeah.
Contract does not say Shane's name on it, that's for sure. But if you want to read my Ring of Honor weekly TV reviews, go to PW Insider. If you want to see the wonderful Death Before Dishonor review I wrote, head to the Pop Break. Bill was also on the media scrum, took my place on the media scrum, so you could read all that stuff over there. You could also read my Matt Hardy interview, all the random stuff I write over there. I'm leaving for Cleveland in 9 hours. I'm so excited. I just want to go there, live my best life at High Spots, and see all my pals at SummerSlam. But yeah, thanks for having me, Rob.
Of course, safe travels, and Cleveland rocks. That's what I hear. Although not too many people sounded as enthusiastic about it.
No, it doesn't.
Dwayne Carey said so. Sorry,
Drew Carey says so. Yeah, he hosts Price is Right. So, Kelvin, what do you got for us, bro? Tell us about No Gimmicks podcast, man. I love being a part of the group. I love what you guys do over there.
I appreciate it, man. Well, first you can catch me on BCP Plus. I do articles, and with this Arlington residency, it's been keeping me pretty busy. Kimmy, ROH is not dying. I think they're resuscitating it. You just have to be patient. Good things come to those who keep screaming at Tony Khan.
You mean the loophole for the TV deal we got going on?
Well, yeah, that's another thing. But hold out hope. It's not dead yet.
I've been holding out hope. I'm the only one who cares anymore.
Miracles I care. I love Ring of Honor too. It's not dead yet. There's still hope. But so yeah, I do. I am the manager of the DFPN. We have a lot of good podcasts over there as well. This is my first week back since my father passed, so I want to thank you, Rob, for everything that you've done. There's a couple people, Total with Tom, who really went out of his way to give me some words. I really appreciate everybody. So it's been a time, but wrestling has always been a thing that I've leaned on. So thank you guys for having me, and thank you for letting me, live out the reality for the moment. But yeah, man, a lot of good stuff coming. We're back in full swing. So just pay attention. Thank you.
I love it, man. Very, very well said. And Kelvin, thank you, man. You're killing it, man. You're doing your thing. You got Texas covered. I'm just gonna say this right now. It's gonna take some time. It's gonna be a tough mountain to climb. But we're just getting started. NFL, we're coming. BCP Fly, we're coming for you. NFL, we're coming. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna take some time. All right. We got the UFO. NFL, we're coming. It's gonna happen. And
yes.
Thank you for saying that, Kelvin. Yeah. And real quick, we ain't here without our guy, man. We miss him so much, but we ain't here. We ain't doing this without him. He got me into wrestling. I'm dating a wrestler. I'm doing this podcast with all y'all. So just, hug your friends tight. Tell them you love them, because you never know what tomorrow's going to bring, guys. And just love each other, love wrestling, be good to each other. Like we always say here on the BCP, everyone stay safe, stay positive, take care of each other. We out.